Arne, I just wanted to go back to the weekend and some of the goals that have been awarded. I just wonder if you've been seeking or are going to seek any clarification from the PGMOL as to what should and shouldn't be awarded as a goal in these situations. I'm thinking of the Forest first goal. I'm thinking of Arsenal's second goal against Spurs and comparing it to what you faced when Virgil van Dijk's goal was disallowed at Manchester City.
If we would have had clarification about all the decisions that went against us this season, then probably didn't have time to manage our team anymore. But to be fair, I found the first goal we conceded against Forest a goal. So that's the one I saw. I also saw the one at City. For me, that's also a goal. And I didn't see the game from Arsenal, so I cannot tell you anything about that.
At the same time, when there's inconsistency in those decisions, do you need clarification from the authorities as to what should have or shouldn't have gone your way?
Yeah, and sometimes this happens, but I think Howard Webb was also on television, wasn't he, when he said it was not unreasonable to disallow our goal. So everybody has his opinion about it. Of course, I have my opinion about it, which is, although I think I can just look at it in a normal way, but maybe I'm a bit biased because I'm a Liverpool manager. But like I said, the first goal that Forest scored this weekend, for me, I didn't have that much problem with it being allowed. The only thing is if your goal is disallowed 2 weeks before, but I think I was quite clear on the fact that that should have been a goal. It would have been a bit weird for me to say that this goal should have been disallowed then.
I didn't think I'd be asking this question after the clean sheet against Aston Villa, and then you obviously built on that with the performance against Real Madrid, where we saw solidity and resilience from your side. So how much is confidence an issue for your players now?
I think till now it hasn't been an issue. If you look at the way we played most parts of the game, so I think I've said Saturday after the game that the first half hour was actually everything I was hoped it to be, except for us scoring a goal. It hasn't been every game this season that we were able to create that many in the first half hour against a team that's defending low. So that was for me positive. But yeah, the first time they arrive in our 18-yard box with a set piece, they score a goal, and then it took a while for us to recover from that. And the first minute after half time, we conceded again. And then again, I saw a team that was trying a lot. So I even showed them, I think yesterday or the day before, how many times we arrived in the box, how many crosses we gave. And I think there was 6-7 times the amount of times Forest gave a cross. But they defended much better in their box than we defended in and around our box. And that is what everyone keeps reminding us of, and we keep reminding ourselves like that as well. So we have to help ourselves defensively a bit more. I'm not talking about the last line, I'm talking about the whole team, because then maybe people will also see that on the ball we are not doing so many things differently than last season. But the amount of goals we concede is, of course, the big difference between this and last season.
How ready is Joe Gomez to start now? I know we've spoken about him, but it seems almost logical for him to at least help you out at right back at the moment, given the injuries that you've got.
Yeah, he's one of the 5 defenders we have, so that's true. But yeah, normally I wouldn't go into detail maybe that much. But he had an injection last week on his knee, so that means that's normally not because you don't feel anything. Apart from maybe me making the decision to play Dom or someone else in that position, this is also to do with him not being completely fit, although he's in the group tomorrow, as he was on Saturday, but wasn't able to train last week every single time.
Thanks, Arne.
Just pass the mic back.
Arne, goedemiddag.
Yeah, good afternoon, Arne. The situation, how would you describe the situation, the way it's like at the moment?
Do I answer in Dutch or in English?
English, please.
In English, okay.
Wat wordt een hoop vertaalwerk?
How I would describe that as ridiculous almost. Something I didn't expect to be in. Not at any club I was ever going to work at, let alone if you play at Liverpool. If you not play, I wish I played. If you manage Liverpool. So that is unbelievable. I've said many times over here, you cannot find, if you even can find an excuse, you will never find enough excuses to make it that you perform like this. So that's unexpected for the club, for me, for everyone. And but I'm also working at a club. If there's ever a club you need to face this, maybe this is the best club to face it, because the harder it gets at a club like this, the more we are together, the more we are trying to achieve the things that Liverpool usually achieves.
Wat is het grootste verschil met vorig seizoen?
What's the difference between now and this season, last season?
I just said something about us conceding far more goals than last season. That is general in terms of conceding. Last season we've conceded 0 set pieces up to now. Now we've conceded 9. So the amount of goals we conceded and the amount of goals coming from set pieces is again close to ridiculous for a club like us. And but of course there are probably more details that are different. But the biggest one is the goals we concede, because from open play we are still able to generate enough chances for us to get a result. But after half an hour, the first time you have to defend and they score a goal, that is of course not what we did last season and not of our standards.
Yeah.
Carl, Paul on this side, then we're taking over this side for a couple. Don?
Arne, in a situation like this, when you're looking at everything that's happened, do you look at yourself and do you feel you need to prove yourself to the fans once again in a situation like this?
Yeah, but it has nothing to do with a situation like this. I think every day you have to prove yourself if you are working at a club of this level. So you cannot say we won the league or we did this or this and now everything is okay. If you work at this level, the next game is always the one that's most important, and you have to prove yourself every single time. That's for me, that's for the players. And that is also what we like about working in this environment, that you can never rest. You always have to keep going if things go well, but definitely also if things don't go well. So yes, I don't know if I have to prove myself to the fans as well as I have to prove myself to myself and to the players and to everyone involved in the football club.
Hi, Arne. There's a few stats recently about the team losing individual duels and sort of off the ball. They're struggling. What do you put that down to? Is it, you know, is there a lack of fight from the players? We had Virgil on Saturday questioning players, saying they need to take more responsibility and they need to be up for a fight. Have you lost that ability to fight teams?
No, we haven't. But in moments of games, we have lost too many duels. So I think the last game we've played, we had 75% ball possession. That means you only have to defend 25% of the time. And I think in and around our box, we only had to defend 4 times. But the first one was a set piece, led to a goal. The second one was a goal that for me was incorrectly disallowed. And because I didn't see the handball, but maybe I didn't see the right angle. And the third time it was the 2-0. So yeah, it's not a thing that we don't, over 90 minutes we are not ready or we're not defending well enough. We only have to defend a few times, and in these moments, but I've had this in the past, not 6 from the 7 games lost, but it's not the first time that I experienced that. A team that has so much ball possession for half an hour, you are waiting for us to score a goal, and then you have to defend only 1 time. And maybe, I don't know, but I've said this many times in Holland as well, that if I have to defend for half an hour, I'm in the defend mode. So I'm just throw myself in front of every ball. And our defenders and all the 11 players maybe almost including the goalkeeper, is only thinking about ball possession, ball possession, ball possession. In the moment they have to defend, we are not as switched on as we should be. And so maybe the answer is less ball possession, because that's what we had against Real Madrid and that's what we had against Villa. And both of the games we won. But so no, I don't think it is a general thing. Otherwise you cannot control or dominate the game we do if you don't win enough duels. But in moments we have to defend better, because City was the same, although City was the better team in the first half. They didn't create that much, but the few times they did create, we were lacking intensity in our duels. Yeah.
Paul?
Arne, how did you spend Sunday? And when you're looking for solutions to the problems, is that you on your own, or is it with you and your backroom staff in a meeting, or is it, you know, what is the process behind trying to find a way out of this?
No, I think it's always a combination of things. So you are there talking about this with backroom staff, with other people in and around the club, with your players. And there are many moments when you're on your own. You're thinking about how you can, how we can do better than we are doing. So it's a bit of everything. On Sunday, I, of course, watched the game back, looked forward to the game of PSV, watched some other games of football, because that's still what I like to do, watch football. And so it's a bit of everything, what you were just saying.
Against Peter Bos, the last year you were coach of Feyenoord, and it was 2 wins for Peter, 1 draw and 1 win for you. Is it a good time to make it equal tomorrow?
Not because of the summary you just make, but I think for other reasons it's more important to win a game of football than to go equal in the last 6 games, you say? So we played 5 and tomorrow 4. Oh yeah, because of the... So yeah, no, there's no reason for that, but it's obvious that we can use a win, although in the Champions League we've won 3 out of 4, which is, I think, normal for a club like us, But yeah, another time PSV, I've played quite a lot against them as a player and also as a manager.
Are you happy with PSV, with the way of playing as an opponent right now? Is that a good opponent to have right now?
Well, I wouldn't say it's a good opponent to have right now. I think they're probably better than ever. But you are watching them for 3 years in a row. But I think they had a difficult spell last season, in the end of the season. And maybe didn't start that well the first part of the season, although the results were good. But the last 2-3 months, they are just a winning machine. Very comfortable on the ball, defensively much more solid than in the start of the season or the period they had last season. So, yeah, the best person to answer that is Peter, of course, himself. But I think this team comes close to the best team he's managed at PSV. But it's for him to answer that question. But they do really well. Being 6 points clear above Feyenoord is already an accomplishment, because Feyenoord does really well this season also. So that tells you how good they are doing. So, yeah, it's just the fixture list is the fixture list, but they do really well at the moment.
Behind.
Hello, Arne. This is Balázs Gyenge from Hungarian Sports Journal, Nemzeti Sport, and I would like to ask you about your Hungarian players, especially about Milos Kerkez. Does his time in the Netherlands make a difference when you're picking the team for tomorrow?
No. No, that does not make a difference at all that he played in Holland. But I did ask him just before I left, have you ever won against PSV? And he told me, yeah, once in an away game, with 1-0 with AZ. But no, this has nothing to do with how I pick my lineup, if a player ever played against PSV or played in the Dutch league. But like I said, we have 5 defenders available. He's actually in the position that's the only position we have that we have double. So we have Robertson and him. In all the other positions, yeah, Joe Gomez is of course there to help us out. But for the rest, there's not so much competition at this moment of time in our last line. But no, that doesn't impact my decision on if he's playing tomorrow, yes or no.
Yeah. Thank you very much. And on the other side, what about Dom? Will he play again?
Will he play on the other side?
Yeah.
He's one of the options I have over there, but it's also clear that Dom is very good in other areas of the pitch. I was expecting, which turned out to be true, by the way, that we had a lot of ball possession against Forest, so he could, from that fullback position, attack a lot, which is also what he did, especially in the first half. I think we were very dangerous over our right side, over our left side, by the way, as well. But that Dom can play in multiple positions, that's clear. Milos can't. Milos is a left fullback, but Dom can play in multiple positions. So let's see where we use him tomorrow. But I am going to use him. That's for sure.
Last one behind, just one more.